So, what was your biggest takeaway about the mental health part of this? Because knowing the project and working with you all on it, in my mind, that was like the biggest aha moments for me. Was about all you learned about mental health in general, but then within the context of working with teens and co-design. So, tell me a bit about that.
It was surprising that even though teens from very different locations all found that nature and animals as their preferred way to relax or to just step away from their everyday stressors. So really taking a hike, actually, uh, since they weren't able to physically go out sometimes, being able to recreate some of that in a virtual space. So taking a walk on this virtual nature trail, planting plants in a garden that they create and they maintain, or just petting and playing with animals. All seem to be really interesting ways that the teens from, again, across very different places were able to agree that that is their preferred method of de-stressing.
Because we're doing the process of co-design, right? That it's about things that come up, that are things that are part of that process. You're not thinking about too much. You have an idea of what the product is, that deliverable, but it is really about what comes out of the process, and yeah, I think that the virtual reality provided a great opportunity for them to embody something and then to be playful and be very interesting at the same time for all of us, right? And they did say that they mentioned something about like they were happy to see that they could engage no longer through a flat screen, but at something that was like more presential and more physical, like kind of like telepresence.
So, okay, now you did that project, it was successful, you learned a lot, the teens learned a lot, the interns learned a lot. And so why did you think it was a good idea to do another IMLS project, which, you have to go through a whole process to get it funded, and then it's a lot of work, and it's a real commitment. So why did you think it was important to do this new project?
Yeah, I want to go back to the
Yeah.
question about mental health because it's linked to this, right? I think one of the biggest things that I discovered, I learned through the previous project, is that there's a need for those conversations in mental health, and that you also don't need to be an expert to have those conversations, right? That you're not providing solutions, you're not giving advice, but we're just opening the space to make mental health come to the forefront, to talk about it and to be aware of it. And there were many occasions in there where I felt, oh, this is actually helping me to understand my own mental health, right? So I think that was like a huge reason why we were like, this needs to continue, at least I think for me.
Yeah, and in addition to that, understanding that the need is there, but also understanding that a lot of people may be very apprehensive about talking about this in spaces, especially a really public space like a library setting. So understanding that there was both a need for those spaces to be created, but also to educate staff and people to really be comfortable having these conversations. Like Juan said, you're not going to provide an intervention. You're not trying to reach teens or people at the time of crisis. You're trying to, address some of these concerns or some of these stressors way before you get to that point, so that you're able to when you start to feel maybe that you need to step away from your day-to-day stressors or anything else that may be affecting your mental health, to have a space that you can come to be able to say, oh, I'm going to go to the library, I'm having a really rough day, I want to go make something, would be an extremely powerful a sense of community that someone would be able to have. And hopefully with this project, we'll be able to take steps into creating spaces and libraries like that.